The Pain in Our Head podcast contains themes of coarse language, adult themes, and the discussion of mental health themes. Some content may be emotionally challenging. If you or someone you know is at risk, please visit the description for mental health and suicide prevention contacts. Enjoy the show. What's going on, everyone?
Howdy. How's it going?
Welcome to this week's episode of the Pain in Our Head podcast. Busy week. Busy week for me. How's it been?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, same. Just we had a fair few guys off sick at work, so we got fucking hammered. That was fun.
As you do, nice. Yeah.
Kristen's birthday on Friday, so went for a 2.5 hour drive to Balmoral.
Nice. Yeah.
Spent the night there.
Tell us about your drive. You're a very safe driver.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Yeah. 100%. That's me. All about that safety. 10 and 2 on the wheel. 5k under the speed limit.
Yeah, great.
Mm-hmm. Did I tell you I got baited by a cop?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Going
home.
On the way home. Yeah. Talk me through that.
I'd left Balmoral, and I think it's like 80 k's to like my first turn off. So I was just plodding along, 110 zone, and there was a cop car in front of me. He's doing like 90, 95 in the 110 zone, and I was just like, this is infuriating. And then the overtaking's like any opportunity to overtake, like broken lines or the actual overtaking lane, and the prick sped up to 112, and I'm like, cool. It's like, so I can't actually overtake you because you gotta fucking book me for speeding. This bullshit. This went on for like 15 minutes. I shit you not, like 15 minutes of this constant like speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. Every time there was opportunity to overtake.
God.
I was just like,
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Pathetic. Like,
yeah.
Get a real job.
Yeah. I had someone do that to me. Might have even been today.
Well, it happens on the road all the time, but when it's someone that can actually has the power to fine you for it, it's like, it's because, you get some dickhead who, they see the overtaking lane and I think the last one's like 300 meters, isn't it? It's like 300 meters. It's like overtaking lane, 300 meters, stay left unless overtaking. Yeah. And it's like suddenly they've got a fucking race car. And you're like, It's like, well, I'm not playing this game. Here's $1.30, $1.40. Like, I'm going past you.
Yeah.
And
one that pisses me off the most is you actually give them the courtesy to actually just slot in behind them. If you need to, like, get over to the next lane or whatever it is, you'll like you go behind them because you've given like enough time to like try and get in front because they were going pretty slow. You're in the other lane. You're like, okay, well, I'll just go the normal speed and try and get in front of you. But then they speed up. So you're like, all right, fine. I'll just go behind you. Like, I don't really give a shit. So you back off. You got to go like slot in behind them, and you slot in behind them, and they hit the brakes on you, and you're like, come on.
You're fucking around. You're about to find out.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
My old man's a truckie, driving, so he's got like heaps of horror stories about shit like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some people do not give trucks the right amount of room.
Well, he's ran people off the road. Sorry, Dad.
Well, I'd say a lot of truck drivers have, and it's not their I'd say a lot of the time probably not their fault either.
Well, I remember one of the stories. He was like driving along, and he got in the overtaking lane, and he was going along, and he like just pulled past this guy, and the overtaking lane was ending, and instead of like hitting the brakes and trying to like get in behind the truck, this guy decided to just hold his fucking line. And like the overtaking lane started to end, so he started trying to merge across on Dad, and Dad's just like, I'm in a fucking B double, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Yeah. You're not going to win this one.
No.
Yeah, far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't be a
Good
truckie.
stuff.
I'd get bored shitless.
Big drives.
Yeah, big drives.
Mm,
Big drives.
yep. Yeah.
Like even when at work, like, during the day, I'll hop out of the loader and have a big stretch just because you're
Mm,
sitting in the loader all day.
yeah.
Especially on those big days. It's just like, when you're doing like 12-hour days, you just hop up, stretch, fuck, readjust your nuts and get back in and go again.
Fix all the important stuff up.
Yeah, fix my hair, make sure I'm pretty looking for the boys.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good shit.
Mm.
What are we talking about this week?
Self-awareness.
Your great idea. So, yeah, he had a really good idea. So yeah, self-awareness.
Well,
Self-awareness.
like
What
I
it
said
looks
to
like.
you when I shot it, it was like, well, we mentioned self-awareness like every episode nearly, and like we haven't really gone into what it looks like being self-aware and what we're actually talking about when we say, being self-aware helps. So I thought, fuck it, we should probably talk about it because it is a very important thing in mental health. Like it's crucial. If you're not self-aware,
Yes.
then
Yeah.
everything that we talk about kind of isn't really going to sink in.
No. Yeah, that's right. Well, when I think about self-awareness, for me, it's the ability to understand things that make you who you are. So, your personality, your actions, your values, your beliefs, your emotions, your thoughts, and just being able to understand what they are and how to most effectively utilize those things to be you. So
Yeah.
that's what I think it is.
Yeah, it obviously goes a bit deeper than that, and like especially if you're specifically talking about the mental health side of it. So like someone who's very self-aware tends to be aware of the trigger points and emotional trends and mental health patterns, stuff like that. It's really critical to being able to really control and have some sort of, I guess, understanding of why things affect you the way they do. So, if you're, I guess an example would be someone who constantly says to you that, oh, I'm so sad today and I don't know why. And it's like, well, someone who's self aware would be more along the lines of like, how you doing? It's like, oh, actually, like, I'm pretty down today, and this is why. Like, this happened this morning, and I'm feeling quite triggered by it, and it's given me this response, and they've got that better insight as to why they're feeling the way they are and what's put them in that position.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. I honestly can't add on to that.
Sorry.
Yes. No, you did that really well. Well, that's it. So it's and I just going back. So, like you said, it's so important with your mental health, and it really is. It's a big part of being able to take some steps in the right direction for understanding how to navigate your mental health and the issues that you're having as well. Sometimes it's good to really take a step back and have a look at these sort of things, and that can help improve.
Yeah. So, and it's it's the same with every other mental health topic that we've spoken about. It's not one of those things that's going to pop up and improve overnight. It's something that you need to take time and put work into it. And like I mentioned before, it's being able to recognize patterns. So being able to recognize patterns isn't something that's going to happen straight away, because you need to see the patterns in progress. You need to be able to experience it, and then, like you said, evaluate it and reassess it. And So it's not something that's going to happen overnight.
No, no, definitely not. So the self reflection part is a quite a crucial part to
Yeah.
this self awareness, and that's right. You can't self reflect if you haven't given it some time.
Mm.
So things take time. Once you've worked with it for a little while, then you've got the ability to go and self reflect upon that, and then look forward to the next step after you've had a look at that.
Yeah. 100%. So we did take a look at a resource, the MBS Psychology Group, and it's quite a extensive read about self-awareness, which great. Uh, we'll provide a link for that, I guess, in the description,
Yeah, I can do.
possibly,
Yeah,
because there's a lot to read, and I don't
fair
think we're
bit.
going to go over all of it, but it goes into great depth why it's important to have mindfulness, how it's a catalyst for self awareness, must have tips for it and tools, the symbiotic relationship between mindfulness and self awareness. It's the same thing. Like mindfulness and self awareness is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
Like they're not identical, but they go hand in hand. And yeah, it's just there's a lot.
yeah. There's a lot of good content on there. Uh, Things like I really like the strengths and weaknesses.
Mm.
We've talked about these sort of things before in different episodes about understanding strengths and weaknesses, understanding what your strengths are, using those strengths to booster your weaknesses or work on your weaknesses. So those things can really help with your mental health as well. Working on your weaknesses, because everyone's got weaknesses. Everyone's got things that they may not be so good at in terms of a mental health aspect. For example, you may not be really good at opening up. I'm using that as an example because it's the first one that kind of came to mind. So being aware that that's something that you struggle with, gives you the opportunity to work on it with some of the strengths that you may have. So some of your strengths may be, you use a lot of really good coping mechanisms, and that's really good. So just yeah, right. So they're just figuring out how you can use those healthy coping mechanisms and what parts of those you can help your weakness, which may be opening up and being honest and talking to somebody when you do need to talk to somebody. How can you use those to help that along, which can be difficult. And again, we'll loop back to it does take time and takes practice. But that's an example of a potential weakness that you can identify, and it's really important to identify that, because if we don't identify any of those weaknesses, they're just going to keep pushing back on some of the mental health problems that you may face.
Yep. And do you know what one of the best ways to develop self-awareness and mindfulness is, Caleb?
I do not.
It's one of our favorite activities to do. It's journaling.
You journal, don't you?
Look, yes and no. It's a hit and miss activity for me. Like I do have a book, I do have pens, and I do write down sometimes, but very big gaps and discrepancies between how often I do write down things. It helps. I just don't like doing it. Like I definitely I'm all for it. Like it's definitely something that I'd promote for people to do. And if it's your thing, it's your thing. Like some people obviously enjoy writing and having that physical kind of like right there in their face that they can look at and go over. But not me. Like it does help though. Like It does. And even though I don't
Yeah.
like it as much, it's still a very useful tool.
Yeah. I'm the same. I'm not a fan of writing it down, and it may work for you. If you're listening, and that's the way you go about it. But that's the concept. It's the concept of being able to. It's a part of that self-reflection. So, like, I don't really write anything down, but you can still do that without journaling or writing stuff down. You can always take the time to yourself and have a think about these things just to yourself, in your head. Take the time to have some quiet time away from everything else to think about these sort of things. You don't necessarily have to write them down, but taking that 5 minutes can go a long way, I think. That's a really big important part. But just recognizing that too, like, yeah, you can work on fixing some problems and some issues that you may have with mental health. You can identify, these things through self-awareness and understand what areas you may need to work on. But it's also identifying the fact that you do need to take time to work through these things. They're not going to work through them themselves. So finding that time, whether it even is just 5 minutes a day or, a couple of minutes a day, there is that time. There's a time there, and perfect example there is showering. The amount of times that's your special time. Yes, well, we're all not so special as you, but that's something that you can take away. That's something you can do yourself. And I've used it in the past to take myself away from everything and actually use it to reflect on, sometimes it might be a day, it might be a week, or it might be things that mental health things that you want to work on. But that's just an example. Like, it doesn't have to be that. There's heaps of things. Driving to the store, like, 5 minutes around the corner, lots of different things that you can do as well. It's not like you really have to stop for 5 minutes, because we all live really busy lives and it's almost impossible to find any time to stand still. But that's it's an important part.
So, another positive thing about having a good level of self-awareness. Sorry, I got like a smudge on my glasses. Fuck, I look weird when I take them off now.
Smudge on the lens? Smudge on the lens?
I'll smudge your lens if you keep talking, bitch.
You're not getting the reference? Disappointed.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, actually, I might open a can of worms here. You've seen Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Rick and Morty.
Do you remember that episode? Morty's gazing up into the moon, and there's a man on the moon.
Oh.
And then it's just a smudge on the lens, but it's not just a smudge on the lens. And
yeah, I'm with you now.
One of my favourite episodes. Sorry, sidetracked.
Anyway,
good TV show.
Amazing TV show.
Mm.
So, very positive thing about having a strong level of self-awareness is that it can improve your self-control. And when we say self-control, we're not just talking about resisting naughty little temptations. We're talking about making better decisions for yourself that can affect your long-term, having better relationships, and just being less stressed out because you're making better decisions. Because not having that self-awareness can lead to impulsive decisions that you may not see the long-term consequences to. So, for an example, there would be, in the heat of a moment, you throw out a word or two or a sentence to someone that you really care about, and at the time you're running high on emotions and you're like, well, blah, 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 and that person gets really upset by what you've said, and later on you go, shit, shouldn't have said that, and then you may have ruined that friendship. Where someone who has a better level of self-awareness that's led to self-control will be in that argument and say, hey, look, this argument has me quite triggered right now, and I don't want to say something that I'm going to regret. Let's just take 5 and we'll come back to it. Or, let's find an alternative to this, because currently I'm not at the right emotional stability to have this conversation. And like, I've done that a lot. It's taken me a very long time to get to that point, because, a few years ago, I would have just blown up at somebody and been like, yeah, well, you haven't actually lost weight. You're a fat bitch still. Ugh. And then, like, why does this person hate me? Because you're an asshole. Like,
that seemed very personal.
No, it's just the first thing that popped into my head. It's like, what's something that you can say to someone to really fucking upset them? And it's just like, well, body image.
Yeah, well, that's hurtful too, isn't it? Sometimes, that's a really good example, because you can say those sort of things without even thinking. And if you're, not self-aware, you don't have that control, then yeah, you can say some really nasty things that you don't really mean to say. So, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, and it's just, it makes, being self-aware does make life that little bit easier, because it tends to put you into situations where you have the option to remove yourself. And like, we've spoken about this before. We've spoken about all of this shit before, but, having, like, acknowledging that self-awareness, like, I think is a very crucial thing that we've needed to do and just haven't yet, because we're not professionals.
No, we're fucking not. It's probably a good thing that we're not. We wouldn't be helping a lot of people.
Oh, man. I reckon we'd be pretty good as, like, professionals, but Jesus Christ.
It'd be too much shit talking.
I don't know, man. Like, my psychotherapist that I went and saw, he spoke a lot of shit with me. But that's half of the job, though.
It's therapeutic.
That's half of the job, though, is being able to make that connection with your client / patient. Like, if you can't make that connection, then
we'd be living in a pretty dull world if we didn't make connections with people. That's how you make connections with people. You got to be.
I'd like to connect my tongue to your boot.
You got to be a little bit outside the box. That's a perfect example. I mean, if you weren't so out of the box and bizarre and crazy, I probably wouldn't have taken a liking to you. So you got to be interesting. So just look, that ties back in. Just be yourself as well, because people are either going to like it, take it with a grain of salt, or just move on. So.
I'm happy you didn't move on.
Yeah, well, who else would carry you through our endless gaming sessions that we don't really get to do much of anymore?
I don't think he listens.
Best part, this is the best part. He's never going to be listening to this. I'll tell him now.
He's got no idea.
I'll tell him now. I'll be like, go listen to episode 19. So it's really good. You short hobbit.
You short, fat, hairy person.
I was going to talk quickly as well about the like a spiral effect. The spiral effect this could have.
Oh yes.
So self-awareness can start with yourself. Where you can do some self-reflection, you think about, what you can do to improve, what you can do to improve your mental health, and like talking about that situation as well, like the self-control. So learning and practicing these things, you start with just yourself. That can then, transpire into showing through, your relationships with friends and other people, making connections, which then extends to, workplaces and, extracurricular activities at your groups or clubs that you might be a part of and things like that. So it gives you more of an ability to make connections in that sort of way. And that way, that's a massive benefit for your mental health, because if you're doing the opposite to that, there's kind of you're kind of just opening the door to a few more demons there. Those sort of demons that are just going to come along and go, well, you're obviously, you're not in a good spot. You're not doing this right. You're not doing this right. That sort of thing. So, yeah, instead of backtracking, it's more like a progression. So, yeah, it's just a spiral effect. So it just starts with those few small steps, and then eventually you'll notice that it just kind of happens subconsciously, I want to say, and that self-control just happens naturally, which is where you want to get it to. That's the goal.
Did you read the ripple effect part?
No, I did not. Is that on the...
Your spiral effect was close. It's the ripple effect on professional relations and performance.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, let's. What did the professionals? What did the professionals say? I was close.
I had it there too while you were talking. I was like,
Does that make me semi-professional?
Sure. Good job, buddy.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. So you're pretty much on the money there. Like you
here it is. Here it is.
Everything, but yeah.
Oh, yep.
There's a little bit there that we could still go into, like the self-awareness could give you a greater understanding of how your actions, your words, and your non-verbal cues can affect your colleagues and superiors. So, I know myself that I can come across as quite an aggressive person when I'm slightly frustrated. Not even like I'm like not even like angry or even like really annoyed. Like it just mildly frustrated at something. Like something's just annoyed me a little bit. I tend to present myself as really fucking pissed off, and I try to be aware of it. But the only reason I'm aware of it is because of my self-awareness. Previously it was up to other people to tell me, hey, dude, you look like you're about to stab someone. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, no, seriously, you look like you're about to fucking kill someone. I was like, oh, okay.
Shit.
So, having that self-awareness makes it a little bit easier to interact with your colleagues and your bosses, because the last people you want to be looking at like that is your boss. It's like,
yeah. You don't want to piss off the wrong people or make it look like that you're pissed off. I used to have the same thing. But I don't think it was because of that. I used to just have resting
bitch face.
Yeah, let's call it a resting bitch face. But it was I used to get it all the time when I was, especially in university and things like that. I've got a really weird look about me when I'm concentrating. So I'll be concentrating on something
about you all the time.
Well, I do. The point is, when I'm concentrating on something really hard, it looks like I am really frustrated and angry, and look like I'm just about to, about to blow up. So, but just realizing that took a long time for me to realize and just sort of figure out how I could work around that, so I didn't look like I was going to go and kill someone, like you said. So
it doesn't seem like much, but that's really important and a massive step in your self-awareness. Just being able to recognize and know that, and maybe curb it a little. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's part of who you are. But
no, I think the best thing about this self-awareness stuff, information. And the best thing about doing the self-awareness is it gives you the understanding, or it can give you a little bit of an understanding of others. So
yes,
so not just self-awareness, just
awareness in general.
Awareness, like just people awareness, social awareness. Is the word I was looking for. Social awareness. So if you're aware of, if you've got self-awareness, it'll give you a little bit of an understanding for social awareness. And that way you can read some situations as well. You might see someone in a particular situation, or you might be helping someone with some mental health things, and they're talking to you and that sort of thing. And if you've gone through that yourself, or you've understood that on a self-reflective kind of level, it's going to help in that regard as well when you're going to help someone else. So, yeah, then it also comes back to just when you're saying it helps you not say those words that you may accidentally slip out. Those verbal things that we might accidentally say. You kind of takes us back to thinking about if you wouldn't say something to someone that you wouldn't like to have said to you. That's that whole self-awareness thing, you know what I mean? So I call you lots of things.
Really mean things to you.
Yeah, but I was thinking about this, right? All those things and all those words and all those verbal words that I call you, I wouldn't mind you calling me that back. So I think there you go. You know what I mean? 100%. So there's the awareness part of it and the understanding. Interesting. But I wouldn't. There probably wouldn't be one other person that I would call the terrible, terrible things that I call you on a daily basis. No, I'm not going to go into them.
No,
so we've got this. It's just
banned on YouTube. Like it's
yeah. So, but anyway, I'll move past it.
But that's the difference. Like it's very much an Australian thing too. I think. Like that Dead Kelly song I was talking about, that 4561.
Yeah.
Like, you call your best mate a fucking, and that knows you love them.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, find us another culture where you can talk to your best mates like they're the scum of the earth, and it's a form of
socially acceptable
camaraderie. Yeah.
That's the Donny difference.
What?
Nah, see, you don't get any of these references. Disappointed. Fresh cakes?
I'm old.
You haven't seen Ted?
I've seen Ted, but
it
didn't really stick.
No, it didn't stick? No, okay.
Under Buddies?
Yeah, that's a... Anyway. Well, I've had my spiel. I'm happy with that. What a good chat. That flowed. Not a lot of shit talk either. That's the first.
Not the first, but it's been a while.
Yes. I started out thinking this was going to be a filler episode, but this is quite chunky.
No, I knew it was going to have a fair bit to talk about. It's one of the, like you said, it flows. Like everything ties into it. So there's just so much that you can talk about it and tie it all in, and it all makes sense, and you're not going off on a tangent. I'll fucking end you. There's not many people that can make fun of my stutter. You're lucky you're one of them. And you're lucky you're in Queensland.
I feel a remix coming on.
Oh, no. I want to know what you did to my voice.
Oh, yeah, with last week's episode.
I said what or something, and you...
Yeah. I'll play it for you after this. Yeah, well, it's interesting. Anyway.
You reckon?
All right. Should we... Sponsors? Yeah, you introduce them this week. Go for it. I do it every week.
All right. Hang around. Listen to Caleb promote his own band.
You're fired. I'm doing it next week. It's not me. It's not my voice. They're two very distinct voices. Yeah. Clearly. Yeah. All right, here's a word from our sponsors.
The Pain in Our Head podcast is proudly sponsored by Music Magic Co. and Brisbane rock band The Flying Circus. Visit the links in the podcast description for more information. Back to the show.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Pain in Our Head podcast. This week we've been talking about self-awareness.
Yep.
Been good. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it has been.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. We've, we talked about, like you said, we've mentioned self-awareness a lot over our past 18 episodes. I can't believe this is episode 19.
No way.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, yeah, we're nearly at 5 months after next week's episode. So, yeah, it's been good. We've talked about it. We touched on it a little bit, but going a little bit deeper into it today was really good. So, thoroughly enjoyed that.
So next week when we record, that'll be episode 20.
Yeah, which will be 5 months of the podcast. Yeah, right. Crazy. Nearly half a year.
And we've already got our topic for next week picked out too.
We do. Yes, thanks to you. Yes. We'll
roll.
Stay tuned. We'll tell you at the end of the episode if we remember.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, we are going to talk about what's been happening in the music world. Talk about some music as we always do, because for some reason our lives do thoroughly revolve around music. Yes, which I don't think that'll ever change.
No. When I rocked up to Kristen's on Friday night, they were cranking out some Taylor Swift. I got in trouble, by the way. You know the episode that I think your missus was going to Taylor Swift?
Oh, yeah, we spoke about Taylor Swift a little bit. Yeah.
I got in trouble because I got told that if I ever badmouth the Queen again, I'm going to get stabbed. And I was like, I never took you for a fucking royalist. I'm like, Kristen was like, not that Queen, like Taylor Swift, the Queen. I was like, ew. What?
Yeah. You don't want to fuck around and find out there.
No, Kristen goes to the gym a lot more than me. So it would be a pretty easy left, right, good night there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm not going to badmouth Taylor Swift. So.
Yeah, you won't make that mistake ever again.
I will.
Well, to all you Swifties listening, we're probably not going to talk about a Taylor Swift song, so sorry about that.
I don't hate her, by the way. Just saying. Just don't bash me.
You know what we're going to do next week? We're going to bring up a song. We're going to talk about a song that's a Taylor Swift cover. It's a metal cover.
Is it from Our Last Night?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they do it. I'll have to look into it. I'll do some research.
Is it We Came as Romans?
I think so, yeah.
I Knew You Were Trouble?
Yeah.
Yes! I fucking love that song.
Let's talk about it now. What a great song.
Yeah, okay, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It slaps. Pop Goes Punk.
Pop Goes Punk. Oh, I love Pop Goes Punk.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yep. Our Last Night, another great band that, Pop Goes Punk, as we call it, or goes metal.
Yeah, it's just metal covers, but for some reason they call it Pop Goes Punk.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Who else? Hands Like Houses also were a part of that. They're an Aussie band.
It's like Houses.
Yeah, Hands Like Houses they've done 2 songs.
Shimmer?
Yeah, Shimmer. And there's another one. I want to say Blur, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that song? I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, no, plenty of. It was such a big thing, like on YouTube for a while there. Just everyone was like, "Well, these pop songs are really catchy and easy to translate into metal, so let's fucking send it." And still happens to this day, and I'm absolutely here for it. What about Dan Vask?
Dan Vask.
Yeah, so he's another, I want to say Swedish guy, but does a lot of stuff into metal.
Yeah, okay.
He's done like...
he's done like Oh Holy Night.
Like, and like the Mulan song. Make a Man Out of You. The Witcher. Toss a Coin to Your Witcher song.
Oh, good song too, by the way.
Yeah. He does a really good version of it. And then obviously, we were talking about in the break, the Leo from Frog Leap Studios, same thing.
Yeah.
He's done, a lot of songs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
We Came as Romans cover of
Trouble.
Woo!
Yeah.
That slaps.
Really cool. Yeah, it's going on the podcast playlist. Look out for that. Yeah. It needs to be updated too. I think I haven't updated the last couple of weeks, so I will be updating that before tomorrow.
That still gets a regular play, that song. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, really, really good. Just on that too, like how, music is never going to go away for us. You you pump the shit out of your music on the way to work, right? Like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like it's at max volume. Yeah, I'm the same. I roll into work like windows down, music going hard at like 4:30 in the morning. I don't give a shit. Yeah, love it. Yeah.
The worst part is like when you're cranking it on the way home, and then you get up in the morning and you turn the car on, and it's just like all of a sudden you're getting absolutely ear raped by death metal. And he's like, "Ooh,
yeah,
good morning, neighbours."
Usually wait till I turn the first corner and then whoosh, goes right up. Once I'm on the main road.
Once I leave the driveway.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, anyway. Fair bit of music to talk to. Oh my God.
Talk to it. Okay,
talk to.
cool.
I'm going to talk to the music. I always talk to music. There's a fair bit of music to discuss this week in terms of releases. So I might start there, and then you can tell me about your amazing songs that you want to chat about. Eminem's come out from underneath the rock that he's been living under for the last couple of years, maybe, I think. Don't know how long it's been. With a new song called Houdini. Not bad.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sold the first time I listened to it, or maybe the second. But then the third, fourth, fifth time, I was like, yeah, this is not bad. This is pretty good. The chorus is really catchy. So it's got a really cool melody and the chorus. And it's just... when I first heard it, I was like, oh, it kind of sounds like... It's like Marshall Mathers LP kind of stuff. Yeah. Like, it sort of sounds like older Eminem. And that's because of the production. There's a lot of little... What would you call them? They're like production elements, and they're not necessarily like musical instruments, but they'll be like different bits, like talking or different little like words and weird like sounds at the end of phrases and things like that. Samples, yeah. Let's call them samples. Yep. So I think that was really prominent in a lot of his earlier stuff rather than the later stuff. So that's what made me feel like I was listening to, early Eminem. So that was cool. It was a bit of a throwback, I thought. So I did enjoy it. Yeah.
I'll have a go at
it. Certainly. Give it a crack.
My song that I want to talk about, I'm late to the party. It came out at the start of this year, and I didn't hear it until yesterday. And that was Unsweetened Lemonade.
Sweetened Lemonade.
Yeah, I gotta butcher this. It's got accents. Amelie Farron, like.
I don't even know if I can help you out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Yeah, Amelie Farron. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just a funny little bop along, and if memory serves me right, she used an Indian folk song as inspiration and wrote her own lyrics to it. So, and I love me some folk music. And, just funny little song. Got a few little witty lines in there that really tickled my fancy. As usual, just something that popped up on Instagram. I was like, oh, this is kind of catchy. I'm going to add this to my iTunes, and away we go.
Yeah, but it's cool. I only quickly scrubbed through it, as you would say. When you first told me then the name of it, I was like, oh, is this a sequel to Lemonade Stand or something? Which I haven't heard for a very long time. But it's not. But, yeah.
Speaking of lemonade, my horse. Sweet lemonade. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, cool.
Do you know what to explain it, do you?
If they're like had much to do with the internet, they should fucking know. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Ooh, Ooh, it tastes just like raisins. It's a fucking amazing song.
Oh,
It was a
goodness.
Flash song back in the day, wasn't it? The old
Mhm.
Adobe Flash player. Ooh. That's taking us back, isn't it?
It's back in the day.
Mm. Yeah, there was some real bangers coming out on the Flash player, like Badger Mushroom. Remember that one?
Badger Mushroom. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Badger, mushroom.
Oh, yeah. Showing your age there, mate.
Mmm.
The good old days.
Back when no one knew what meat spin was.
Oh,
Don't look it up, please don't.
yeah, please. Yeah. We all fell for that back in high school. You know.
I got a story about that.
Go on then.
This is like back when internet was so fucking slow. Everything was tedious to load, right?
Mm.
So one of the guys that I was gaming with sent me the link, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. So I clicked on it, and I think I was playing World of Warcraft at the time. And I was just like plodding away, and the song was going. I was like, "You spin me right round." But I was like, "Fuck yeah, I love this song." So I just like jam into this song in the background. I was like, "Fuck yeah," playing a bit of World of Warcraft with the song going because it was on loop, so it just didn't stop. And I was just like, "Oh," I was like, "That's right." He sent me a link, so I like alt tabbed out, and it's just. I've just been jamming to this song for like half an hour. Fuck yeah, I love this song. And then just boom. I was like, oh, fuck me. Because it had a spin counter as well, like how many spins you'd gone through. And yeah, I'd gone through a lot of spins. Cool story. So for the people that know what I'm talking about, that's funny.
I can't believe that. Well done.
Well, back before you had two screens and when videos took forever to load, so, you'd open up YouTube or whatever and just be buffering in the background while you were doing your other shit. And then, the song started and I was like, fuck yeah, I love this song.
Yeah.
Jesus, that went on a tangent.
It did. Big tangent.
Unsweetened lemonade to meat spin. Whew. That's some leaps.
Two birds of a feather.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your other song?
I want to talk about The Offspring. I've just got a little bit.
We've never spoken about them before.
Never spoken about The Offspring. I just got a little bit more excited. So the other day they released a single. Make it all right. Don't mind it. It's pretty good. I listened to it a fair few times over and over again. I did like it. I've just had a look.
Coming the 11th of October.
Yes, at 123 days, 4 hours, 7 minutes, and 6 seconds is a new album, Supercharged.
I've just
pre-saved it. Yep.
Yeah.
I've done the same thing. I'm so excited for that.
I like the first track title too, Looking Out for Number One.
Looking Out for Number One, Light It Up, The Fall Guy. I went and saw that movie the other day, actually, too, by the way. Good movie. Yeah, with Ryan Gosling and what's the chick's name?
I'm thinking of Free Guy.
That's a good movie.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
With Ryan Reynolds, yeah, great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. Deadpool 3 comes out soon too.
Ooh, yeah, I love Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool's great. Anyway, we're going to keep rambling on. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I'm really excited. The new song's really good. So make it all right.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that after the podcast because I haven't heard it yet. You didn't tell me that it was there.
No, I was waiting till today. I was actually going to tell you the other day, but I forgot. And then I kept forgetting until today. My mind's been elsewhere. But anyway, that's it from me. I'm just going to do the music update this week. There's no particular song that I've been loving this week more than any other. I've been listening to the podcast playlist this week. So, loving Monster. Like loving
Monster.
That one. Yeah, Monster.
Yeah, that's a banger of a track.
Yep.
That
really
was a lot of episodes ago.
It was a lot of episodes ago. Really enjoying that one.
Kawaii.
Yes. And also really enjoying Save Out Now and ER by Devin Townsend. Yep, really enjoying those two on the playlist as well. So if you're listening,
ER is a beautiful song.
Yeah, great song, isn't it? Yeah, just.
I just wish he
love it.
released like the audio for that live one that he does. I think he sings like one of the lines differently, and he hits it really powerful,
okay.
and it's just
Yeah. It's amazing.
Beautiful man, beautiful man.
Great voice. Love his voice. Love his music. So yeah, if you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about this particular episode or any other episodes. Go have a look on Spotify. It's called the Pain in Our Head Podcast Music Playlist. If you're looking for something to listen to, that's a good starting place because all of the music that we talk about gets added to that playlist. So listen to the playlist.
And it's not all metal.
No. We've got a bit of everything in there. There's what's one of the songs? I've got Sharp Dressed Man on there now by ZZ Top.
Well, both the songs from Devin Townsend I wouldn't call metal.
No, they're not his metal ones. No, gosh, no. I can't think of another one that's on there. Oh, well, we've got
Hilltop Hoods.
Hilltop Hoods are on there. Bless and Esso's on there.
Offspring's Punk.
Offspring's on here. Yeah. We've also got like Miles Smith. That's pop.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even get that. We got we've got like joke sort of songs in here. I've been listening to I Play WoW a lot too.
Yeah.
Like those are great. Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. Yeah. So and Fallout by Sleep Theory. I've been really enjoying that too.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that in ages. I haven't really listened to it for a long time.
Yeah, Bada
song.
Boom. Been loving that.
Oh yeah,
that's great. So,
Bada Boom.
Yeah. So anyway, go listen to the Pain in Our Head podcast playlist.
Did I tell you that the guy that does, because that's a full a cappella band, right? And
yes.
With a drummer.
Yes.
But one of the guys in that band does the guitar solos with his microphone plugged into a guitar amp.
It's insane. I can't believe that. Unbelievable.
You have to look it up, but there's actually like a YouTube video of him like going through how he does it and like what he does.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
like demonstrates. So it's fucking cool.
It's interesting. I have to give it a look.
I love a cappella.
Yeah. Well, I just love music.
Yeah.
I haven't kept it a secret.
No.
Yeah.
I like musicals, like movies.
Yeah, I love musicals. I can't think of my favorite one.
Movie.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Can't think of my favorite musical.
Greatest
Showman.
Sing 1, 2.
Good. Yeah.
It's Perfect.
Haven't really seen them.
Oh, dude.
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got my girlfriend in it.
Does it really?
Not Rebel Wilson.
That's what I thought. Glad you had to clarify that.
Anna Kendricks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Fair enough. Yeah.
Crush.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I can't think of the
Horror Picture Show.
No, that's not the one. My favorite musical is, I'm going to find it. I always forget. Oh, Tick, Tick, Boom. You haven't seen that?
Doesn't ring a bell at all.
That shit rocks. It's a rock musical. Really, really cool. Yeah, really, really cool. Anyway, that's it. That's it from us, I think. What are we talking about next week?
I know. Nah.
Because I've forgotten.
Trauma dumping.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about trauma dumping. Yeah, I've got a fair bit of that to do to you in the next couple of days. Trauma dumping. Yeah, great. We'll talk about trauma dumping next week.
Most of it, but whatever.
Well, that's why I've got to talk to you about it. Great. All right, we're going to talk about trauma dumping next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your kind comments. We're still getting them. Please comment on the YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Share it around. Tell your friends about the podcast. And we will be back with you next week. It's okay to not be okay, Christian.
It's not weak to speak, Caleb.
Nice. So here's.
Bye.